I don't want to say it was like a terrible day. It's not that it was bad, it's just a lot.
Nightmares, more like, about guided reading last night, so that was special. This is the disaster that is my classroom before going to lunch.
Today we read Interrupting Chicken because this is seriously how I feel. So we have our ones for our friends at home and then our ones for our friends at school.
So we made it to Friday. I am determined to make today a good day, as good as we can possibly have, and just finish this week off strong. Hey there friends, it's Kate and welcome back to my channel, Golden State Educate. And happy first week of hybrid learning. We already had our first 2 days of school last week, so I'll talk to you about that at the end of the day. I started vlogging on the first day and I literally got like 3 minutes of footage. All of it was in the morning. And then one of the 15 seconds of that 3 minutes was me trying to vlog at recess, being like, oh my God, this is insane. Hey there friends, it's recess and I would 10 out of 10 not recommend doing this. This is insane. This whole day has just been insane. Oh my God. So yeah, Thursday was the day, Friday was a lot better. It is currently 7:45 and the kids come in 15 minutes. I start letting them in at 8 o'clock. We don't really start school until 8:15, but I start letting them in at 8 o'clock. And then I got here at 7:15. So I've already been here for about 30 minutes. Yesterday I came, figured out our week, did our schedule, made copies for the whole week so everyone's good to go. I changed some desks because there's a few of my friends, lesson learned, that are not going to be sitting next to each other. So yeah, you know, like first day, you don't super know. So now I know, so we moved them. And then I also just put all their morning work out. So I'll show you what we're looking at right now. And then I also ordered quite a few books. I have several books, but I ordered a few like individual leveled readers. So I got a pack of A and B, and then I got another pack of B, and then I also got a pack of C, just because a lot of my kids that are reading on higher levels, I have books for them, but I just got these little packs. I've used these before in the past when I was student teaching, so I'm excited to check these out. These are new. They're like first little comic books. And a lot of my kiddos that are reading on level A and B, I think, are really going to enjoy these. So basically what we're doing, I'll show you what's happening at their desks and just what my plan of attack is for the next 15 minutes before I let them in. Now they just have their morning work out on their desks, and then I have 2 different morning works. So this is, the majority of my class has this morning work, and then about 4 of my friends have this like lower level just because they're in my lowest reading group, and then some of them are also English learners, so they're still working on this, but I do think that the majority of my class can handle something like this. And it's great because of who they're sitting next to. Whoever they're sitting next to, it's like they're sitting by ability level, so like a low and then a high and then a low and then a high in reading groups, so they should be able to help each other out. And then over here we just have all of their little book bins with their numbers on it, and then I have their whole packet for the week. So if you remember, before we started hybrid, I had made 6 or 5 weeks of packets and handed them out for distribution. So we're still working with the packets because the kids at home have the packets, and this is just a lot easier to plan. Since I already planned, I'm not going to scrap all of that. So we're still working through those packets because we still had like 3 weeks left by the time we went hybrid. So in their packets, they just have their little sight word reader for today and then their packet for the week. So my goal is they're going to have their morning work, and then they're going to come get their bin, and then inside their bin is going to be 3 books, and those will be their books for the next 2 days. So I have my little library back there, but the kiddos can't use it. They can use the books if I give them to them, but they can't like have library time where they look through all the books. And then they have to have at least a 24-hour quarantine period. So that's cool. Wednesday is our asynchronous day, so I'm thinking I'll give them like 3 books, 1 fun book, and then like 1 book that's probably a little bit tricky, and then 1 book that's totally at their independent reading level. So that way when they're done with their morning work, they can come get their bin, be set for the day, and then quietly check those books out. And then they'll go into the quarantine on Wednesday, and then on Thursday they'll get 3 more books. So each week they're getting 6 books, and then I'll just have to cycle through those. And then one more thing, we are starting guided reading today, so I'm gonna set up my sit spots back here just so they know where to sit when they're back here. Also set up their line spots. Standing in a line was incredibly difficult.
last week. Oh my Lanta. So this is how it's going to be. I have 16 kids, so I have 2 lines of 8, and then there's going to be the 1 through 8. Numbers 1 through 8 are going to be the blue line, and then numbers 9 through 16 are going to be the pink line, and they have their little dot to stand on. Depending on how this goes, I actually might write their names on the dots, but then I kind of can't reuse them. So I'm hoping that we can work on this today.
Hey friends, so it's lunch right now, and today has just been like crazy. This is the first week, I think I was talking to you guys about it this morning. This is the first week that this is our first official week, but the thing about starting in March is like, we don't have time for like first week of school stuff. Like, that's not what we're doing. We're in the middle of a math unit, we're in the middle of reading, so we can't just like stop doing all of that. So today was the first day of trying to do small groups and trying to do synchronous, like at the same time. Online kids and in-person kids is like enough to make me cry. The first 30 minutes of reading groups, the first rotation was literally a disaster. And then the second rotation wasn't that bad. So the fact that like the second one wasn't that bad on the first day, that's giving me some hope. But like, it's just hard with kindergarten because they literally don't know how to do anything. Like, you would think that like they know how to go onto the apps because we've been doing it all year. But like their new Chromebooks, just like, it takes a while to get everything set up. So like they can't get onto this activity, they can't get onto that activity. They're asking a million questions. I pretty much can't do math groups anymore because we only have 30 minutes and we used to have an hour. So yeah, this is the disaster that is my classroom before going to lunch. This is just what we're working with for today.
Hey there, friends. So I feel like I need to get like a small tripod or something for my classroom because I always have like you guys at this like awkward angle, but it's fine. So it's considerably later now. It's actually like almost 4 o'clock. So really school is over at like 2 o'clock. And my my kindergarten team and I just ended up having like an impromptu meeting for the last 2 hours just to talk and just, you know, troubleshoot and figure out how to do this, because I don't want to say it was like a terrible day. It's not that it was bad. It's just a lot. And I know that we're still transitioning and it is going to be a lot and this is a big change. But it's just one of those things, like, I don't know who decided. I don't remember getting to vote on if we were doing this version of hybrid of like literally teaching the kids online and the kids at home at the same time. But I just feel like this was not a good choice for anyone, especially in kindergarten where they're not independent, or like I'd say, you know, maybe 6 of my kids are decently independent of the 22. So just like a real moment right now, like this is ridiculous. And it's just hard because this is the moment that I've been waiting for. And I've been so excited for this. And I knew that it was going to be hard, but there's just certain parts of it that knowing that it's going to be hard and then it being hard are kind of 2 different things, you know? So I'm not just going to sit here and like complain to you guys because no one likes to hear that. But I do want to let you know that like it's not all sunshine and rainbows. This is really difficult. I also have about 6 kids. I have 16 students in class, and there's about 4 of them that are a lot, like so much so that they should never be in the same class again. It's crazy too because my other coworkers were telling me like, oh snap, like when we see your class, like you have a class, they have a lot of energy, they just have a lot, and especially going from like being at home and just doing distance learning, and like I could mute them, they could be away from their computers, but like they're here all day and they're in front of me and they need a lot. So those 4 to 6 kids just take everything out of you. So yeah, and I think another hard thing that I'm having is just like kind of trying to figure out how we're going to make this work. It's just about figuring out what I want to do. So I'll either continue doing what we did today and just try. It's just a lot, but we're working with it. We're figuring it out. So technically I'm all planned for tomorrow because I'm technically planned for 2 weeks, but there's just a lot that I realized today. You know, with teaching, it's like troubleshooting, trying it again, changing it, doing something else, trying it again, troubleshooting it again. So I think that's just where I'm at today. Like, not a fail by any means. We definitely tried and we did have some good moments. But it just might be a little bit too much. Might just be a little bit too much. So I'm just going to sit here for just a little bit longer. We talked about it for a long time. I might just see 1 group a day. Because I think that trying to switch groups halfway through is just a lot. And half of the group is not even in person. They're like on Zoom, and I'm like trying to pull them back from the waiting room and like trying to make sure that we can all see, even though I'm like teaching on the floor, literally on the floor in a circle. So yeah, I'll let you know what I end up doing. Obviously, I'll end up doing something, but we'll see. I'm just going to think about it for a little bit longer for today, and then try something else tomorrow. The good news is Wednesdays are asynchronous, so I just really need to have something for tomorrow, and then on Wednesday I can spend like most of my day just trying to figure out what the heck we're gonna do and how we're gonna make this work. But we did get a good bit of work done today, so I have all of their work. We did learn about turning it in and putting our name on it, so we have our like sight word rainbow writing, which that went really well. This is a good one. We have our sight word rainbow writing, so they did a bunch of sight words. That was just like if you're done kind of work. A lot of them still managed to do their math. We did whole group math, and that was not as big of a mess as I thought it would have been. Our morning work went really, really well. So we did it all together, or they did it on their own, and then we went over it in our red crayon. So like I graded it with them, and then they just like made their mistakes or went over it again. But yeah, this went really well. Our morning was great up until reading groups. And then I think when reading groups were such a hot mess, that just kind of like spiraled us into the rest of the day. But that's okay. Again, this was our first day, just jumping back in and doing everything that we normally do on Zoom. And I think the lesson that I learned today was we can't just do it the same way that we were doing it, because it's not the same. I think in my head, I kept thinking like, we're doing exactly the same thing except for they're here. But like the fact that they're here is obviously like huge. So yeah, that's just it for today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello, good morning, happy Tuesday. So different day, same spot. This is just where I'm probably gonna do most of my vlogs from now, because this is like my command center. But hello, good morning. I had dreams about guided reading, nightmares more like, about guided reading last night, so that was special. But we're feeling good today. I woke up feeling pretty good, and I'm interested in seeing how today goes. So it's about to be 8 o'clock. I'm gonna let them in soon, but I just wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on. I'm here. I set up our slides for the morning, and then I also have our piano music. So whenever they come in the morning, we just do our morning work. They have their morning work at their table, and we just have like calm piano music for the kiddos, so that way they're nice and relaxed. So hopefully this turns out well today. I hope that we can get our Chromebooks quickly. I hope that we can kind of take some time today to really go back to basics. I think that's what I learned about yesterday and just about the last couple of days. By trying to skip over them to get to the content, we're not able to do anything. So those procedures, those practices are super, super, super important. So we are going to nail them in today. And then another thing that we're doing today are mystery students. So I used to do this in student teaching, and I've seen other people do it as well. So I have two names, a boy and a girl, underneath those sticky notes. And I'm going to be watching all of the students today, and if the mystery student had a good day at the end of the day, they get to have a prize. It'll probably just be like a little sticker or something that said like I was the mystery student, but hopefully this works out today. I might even have to tape them down, but I told them that if they look, they're not going to get it. So that's what we're gonna do today. Hopefully it works out. It's gonna be a good day. I have a good feeling about today. And we are set to go, set to let the kiddos in. So all their tables are set up. We have all of our book bins over there ready to go, all packed up for a big day of learning. Oh my goodness, you guys, today has been literally like 10 out of 10, so much better than yesterday. And I think this is because of multiple reasons. So we have been awesome. We did all of our morning work. We came in super quietly. They've been great. I introduced the mystery students. They're at recess right now, so you can probably hear them. But we introduced the mystery students today, and they're super jazzed about that. This seems to be working out really well. For reading groups, we are gonna try something else. I'll talk to you guys about it after school today, but we did a choice board for reading groups while I just kind of figure out what I'm gonna do. I think I only have enough time at this point to meet with one group a day. If it really was the beginning of the year, we wouldn't be doing 2 groups at this point. So we're just gonna take it back to basics, learn how to use our computers at school, learn the apps at school, how to do quick logins at school, and what our options are.
So that way I can do maybe like one group per day for a couple of weeks, and then we can try to do 2 groups per day and just work our way back up to that. So that was great. As they were doing their quiet reading groups, I was giving them smelly stickers if they were being awesome. I was giving them lots of positive reinforcement, and they seemed to respond really well to that. And then I also wanted to talk about our lines and how we've been doing so awesome with our lines today. So I have these little dots, and I decided to put their numbers on it. So if they're blue, they're 1 through 8. And if they're pink, they're 9 through 16. We spent about 10 minutes lining up. I put their numbers in like smelly marker on the back of their hands so they knew, and we practiced say your number out loud, say your number quietly. If you're a blue dot, number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, come on your dots. If you're a pink dot, numbers 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16, come on your dots. And we, no joke, spent about 10 minutes doing that. And then we did it for real when we ran out to recess, and they were awesome. So I'm just interested in seeing how that goes later today. I don't expect them to know their numbers yet, but I might say like, get in the blue line, get in the pink line. So hopefully we can do that when we clean up for recess. I have 10 minutes left of recess, so I'm going to enjoy my time, and I will catch up with you guys later.
Hey there, friends. Same spot as yesterday. So it's the end of the day. We just had the end of the day. And overall today was so much better than yesterday, like 10 times better just all around. So I'm really hoping that we can carry this energy through the rest of the week. Wednesdays are asynchronous, so I actually don't see them tomorrow. But I'm hoping that we can use the juice that we got from today to take us into Thursday and Friday. So I think I last talked to you at lunch. So after lunch, I don't actually know. Maybe it was even at recess. So after recess, we did a directed drawing. We read the book Lucky Ducky. And it's kind of like, I feel like we didn't really get to do too much St. Patrick's Day stuff before St. Patrick's Day because we were going hybrid. So now that it's over, we aren't really doing St. Patrick's Day, but I feel like Lucky Duck kind of went with it. And then we did this directed drawing of a duck. Mine's not done, but I did the drawing and then started coloring it. And then they all kind of got to do their own thing. So I did this with the kids in person and the kids on Zoom, because we do it, everyone all day. And the kids on Zoom were so happy. I feel like that was the most attention that they've really gotten. And it was like a chance for the kids at home to talk to the kids at school. I have my iPad set up so the kids at home can see the kids at school on my iPad. So it's been working out pretty well. They really, really liked this directed drawing and talked about, it's springtime. In the spring, ducks migrate back and the baby ducks are born. So we just kind of tied it in various different ways. But we had our art time, especially because that time between recess and lunch is only 30 minutes. This was great. We could do 15 minutes of the directed draw and then 15 minutes of color and chat. Then we went to lunch. When we came back from lunch, we had quiet time. Woo! And my kids got another marble today. So we got another marble today. Now we have 2 marbles, and we're working to have a movie party, which is perfect because the kids on Zoom can still participate in that. So we're going to have a movie party if we get to 10 marbles. So we're at 2 right now. We came in from lunch perfectly on our blue and our pink lines and our straight blue and pink lines. We came in, I played the piano music again, just like we do when we come in the morning, and they play with their Play-Doh quietly for about 10 to 15 minutes. And the second it was over, I pressed my little doorbell and they all put their hands on their head, and it was seriously glorious. So that was awesome. So we got a marble for it. Not only were they getting in lines after lunch, not only were they quiet during quiet time, but they also put their hands on their head perfectly at the first call and response. So incentives, procedures and incentives is the name of the game today. So after quiet time, after our glorious quiet time, we did our sight word cards. I'm not sure if I've talked about these yet on YouTube, but these are called I words. These are called I words, sight words, and they're great because they have a little action. They have a picture and an action for each sight word. So the students are able to look at the picture, they are able to do the action, and then they're able to say the words. So they're putting it together just in so many different ways. So this one is R. So you'd make a pirate hook and say R. And then the sentence is, are you a pirate? So it's just multi-sensory. Not only is there a picture for the visual kids, there's also an action for like the kinesthetic or body movement kids. And there's also a sentence to go a little bit further. So we have and, salt and pepper, play, ball. We did our sight words. So this is just our sight words. I got this from Mrs. Call's Campers. Love her, Maylene. She's the best. She's the greatest resources. So all year we have practiced doing these rainbow words. So they write their sight words in the rainbow a bunch of times. But it's been too hard to explain over Zoom. So now that they're here, I can teach them other ways to do it. So we did our sight words, and in each one goes a different sight word. And then they put the rest of the word, they repeat it on the line 3 times. So this went really, really well. They really enjoyed this. Even some of my friends who have had a pretty hard time today were doing awesome with their sight words. So I was just super, super impressed. After sight words, we did our read aloud. Today we read Interrupting Chicken, because this is seriously how I feel. Especially in kindergarten, but probably it's always, but they are shouting out at me all day, I'm done, not raising their hands. We're still learning. I think on Zoom, I was just able to mute them, or they would have to raise their hands or unmute. So in person, it has been a time. So we read Interrupting Chicken, and then we made our class rules. So I just put it on this paper for right now, but I'm going to make like a pretty like chart paper of it, so that way I can hang it in our classroom. But we came up with raise your hand, sit correctly in your seat, be respectful, listen closely, hands to yourself, be quiet, and stay safe. So that means being 6 feet apart or playing safely outside. So those were pretty good. This was a little bit hard. We probably should have done this in the morning. Saving this for the end of the day, I feel like it might have not been as impactful. So when I see them on Thursday, we will have to definitely go over our class rules a couple of times. But yeah, overall, we had a really good day. We also did our mystery students at the end of the day today, which was super exciting. Oh my gosh, they were like dying to hear. But it was kind of hard. Honestly, it was. So, because they're 5, they're so little, they have a lot of feelings. So we had a big talk about like, even if it's not you, we can still be excited for the person who it was. And remember, if there is someone who didn't get one, that means we all just need to try harder the next day. So one of my friends was a superstar today. He was trying so hard. He had such a better day today than he did yesterday. So I felt like even though it wasn't 100% for him, today was a really good day. So he got a superstar sticker, and I called his mom. in front of the class, and I left a message, and I said, wow, we did mystery students today. Your child was a superstar. He was safe on the playground. He was working hard in class. He wasn't touching anyone else. He was being responsible and respectful. So I know his mom is going to be thrilled. I know she's going to be so thrilled, especially because she's, a mom who sometimes gets emails about, we had a hard day today, or like got phone calls about like, we had a rough day. So those positive incentives of calling a parent and telling them that their kid was awesome, that their student was a rock star in class, is super, super important. Just so that way, they get both sides of the spectrum. They know that their kiddo sometimes has a hard time. So telling them when they had a great day is super important. So he was a superstar. My other friend was not so much a superstar today. Yeah, and we had a lot of tears. I didn't tell that person that they were not a superstar. I just said that, the other person, we couldn't do it. We weren't quite there. Yeah, I know we can try harder. So a lot of the other people in class were upset, but I think that was a good learning lesson of like, just because I say that there's a superstar doesn't mean that if we aren't acting like it, that we still get something anyways. So I'm really hoping that superstar can try a little bit harder on Thursday. I am going to leave their name underneath the mystery student stickers. So hopefully we changed it around, but everyone else was super awesome. When we pack up, we watch an episode of Peep and the Big Wide World. They're only like 10 minutes long. So that's been really nice to get their hands washed and get them out the door in like a nice, orderly, calm way. So that was the end of our day. Overall, today was really good. I'm considerably less tired than I was yesterday. So I'd say it is a win for today, and I am gonna head on out of here soon.
Hi friends, so it's actually 3 o'clock on Thursday. It's the end of the day. I was going to start my vlog this morning as per usual, but that just didn't happen. I had the tech guy in here trying to figure out like what's going on with my sound. It's funny because I had a feeling this was gonna happen. The problem was the sound wasn't even that bad. We could still hear it on the TV. The only thing we couldn't hear on the TV was the Zoom kids, and really that's not my biggest priority. And of course he like came and fixed it, but now it's worse than it was before, which I feel like I kind of jinxed it because I already had a feeling that that was going to happen. But now, it's playing on these speakers up here, but the speakers are too quiet and the Zoom kids can't even hear that at all. So yeah, pretty much our day today was the kids on Zoom not really being able to hear anything, because if I was sharing things to the kids at school and sharing things to the kids on Zoom, it was coming out of these speakers up here, so the kids on Zoom couldn't even hear it. Whereas when it was coming out of my computer, we couldn't really hear the kids on Zoom, everyone, but I could hear them, so that was like the biggest priority for me. So I don't really know. I just want to call the guy and just be like, come back and undo whatever you did today, because that's not, that made our day harder, in addition to several other things. So yeah, I came in this morning and I told you I quarantined their books on Wednesdays, so I gave them new books today. So I just kind of filtered through and like gave each kid in the reading group like another kid's book that they had, so I just kind of rotated them. So they were super excited this morning. Our morning work is continuing to go well. We started our day on a good note, and then they were really excited to check out their new books, so that was great. And then that was pretty much the last great thing that happened today. Our hybrid model is morning, they all come. The kids at school we started our day at 8:15. The kids at home join at 8:30, and we have them all day, both groups all day long, teaching the same thing. So everything that I do in person, I also have to make a digital activity of, so that way the kids at home are not left out, because we have equity issues if the kids at home are not included. So it's not like I can really have them do asynchronous work, or there can be times where I'm like not talking to them, because that is just not part of the rules. So we're trying our best, we're making it work, but I do feel really bad for my Zoom kids because the group that I have in person is taking all of my attention and all of my time. So that's pretty much how today went. I'm really hoping that we have a better Friday, because I would really like to end this week on a good note. Monday was really hard and today was really hard. So if we could have like 2 out of 4 in-person days, I would really appreciate that. So yeah, we're just learning. We did mystery students again today. I was really happy because both of my mystery students got their prize at the end of the day, so that was super fun. But I have several kids who were still learning how to be happy for our friends when it's not us. So I have a few kids who are convinced that they are the mystery students every day, and they just bust in absolute agony, like tears, like shouting, screaming tears when it's not them, which is a time. So we're learning how to be happy for our friends. It can't be us. There's only 2 sticky notes and 2 names and 16 kids, so it can't be us every single time. But yeah, so that's about that. I'll show you really quick what we did today, because we really tried. I did have some stuff planned, and we really tried to make it happen. So I'll show you what we ended up doing. I think I have a game plan for reading groups going forward, but for today, I still kind of wanted us to do the choice board and do some differentiation. So the goal is that everyone did their one seesaw activity, and then they could do the choice board. My lower group did this boom card. They had to match the apple to the sign, so they did that one. This was all for sight words. My middle 2 groups, my kiwis and my pineapples, did this activity.
Map. Map.
So just a segmenting and blending activity. This was really hard for some of my friends, which was a little bit concerning. So we're really gonna have to work on segmenting and blending, and probably review letter sounds a little bit, because that did take quite a while.
Fix. Fix.
but I thought this was great. So we are not scrapping this. This is just something that we're going to have to keep working on. So I really, really liked that. So that was my second lowest, and then my second highest group. My highest group, I'm really excited about this because I want to start using this. I purchased this resource from Allison over at Learning at the Primary Pond, so I'll link it below. It's just these little digital books. They are for Google Drive, but I just took a bunch of pictures of them and loaded them into Seesaw. So the kids can read this book and then they'll do this activity. So just a sequencing activity of, so first, next, then, and last, and that went really well too. And all of the groups finish their activities, they can pick from this choice board. I'm not really sure what this activity is going to be yet, but I want to have a fourth option, so I'll have to keep thinking about that one. They can spend the rest of the reading group time reading on Epic, going on iReady Reading, or listening to any of these books. So it's kind of like a little listening center, and they're all just ready and loaded for the kiddos to listen to.
So actually, now that I think about it, reading groups went pretty well. I'll take it back. So we had a really good morning overall. We had great morning work. We had great reading groups. And then we also tried to do writing, which was not great. At the beginning of the year on Zoom, I tried to do writing as a whole group and it didn't really go well. And now in person, it's also not going well. So I'm still kind of figuring out what to do with that. As we know, small groups are really hard, so trying to do writing small groups just seems silly. So I might incorporate writing in a reading group center throughout the week. So that way I can differentiate for them and they can just do an online activity and I'll just record the lesson. So they can still get that, but I don't know if we need to do 25 minutes twice a week, so almost a whole hour of writing in person, because once that started going, it was really hard to get them back.
And then our last activity was this sequencing activity. So it comes like this, and this is what we did in class. So we listened to, there was an old lady, or we watched it on YouTube, who swallowed a chick. And then while we watched it a couple of times, they did the coloring, and then we cut it out and glued it in the right order. I love these sequencing activities, and this one was actually a freebie on TPT, so perfect for spring or Easter. I'll link it down below. And then, as I said, all the kids online need to be doing these same activities, so that way it is equitable. So here's the activity that I made for the kids at home. So it's the same thing. All they have to do is drag and drop the pictures onto where they belong. So really cool. I'm happy that I could do this. This was a really easy activity to make digital. So we have our ones for our friends at home, and then our ones for our friends at school.
Hey friends, happy Friday. We did it. We made it to Friday. Oh my goodness. There were definitely times this week where I thought we wouldn't, but we did. We're here. We have arrived, and I am determined to make today a good day. So we made it to Friday. I am determined to make today a good day, as good as we can possibly have, and just finish this week off strong. This was our first full week of hybrid learning, and I think I thought it was going to be one thing and it's turned out to be another thing, which is okay. It's just pretty overwhelming, more so than I thought it would, but I know that this won't last forever. I know that it's just the first week. It's still the beginning. We're still learning, and we're learning how to work with each other. We're learning how to be students. We're learning how to, be in school all day. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. However, we are going to continue to work on our procedures and work on how we treat our friends, and I just hope that we can make today a good day. So we pretty much just have like science and music and free choice today. We're doing our fun rainbow craft today. We have a little bit of reading groups, and I think during that time I'm going to pull some kids and test their reading levels, just so that way I can be instructing them in person to the best that I can. So we'll probably do that. But yeah, it should be a pretty nice and easy day. Hopefully everyone comes in a good mood today. I'm in a good mood today. It's Friday. So I am just excited to finish this week off and get to the weekend. Hey friends, so it's lunch right now. And we just had our little afternoon. Our morning was okay. We're still, some of us are still getting used to being at school, so it's still a little bit of a struggle, but we're working with it. Our little in-between recess and lunch was really fun. We read How the Crayon Saved the Rainbow, so that was really cute. They loved that. And then we did our little rainbow craft. So when they come back, we're going to put our names on the top and then write little affirmations. So like, I am smart, I am strong, I am brave. And then we're just going to
do Fun Friday and music and get our JoJo points, and then we're done. I'm so excited.